What's going on, Solid Steppers? What's up, Tech the Titans? This Miss Ward coming to you from Denellen, Florida. One of my favorite spots. It's so pretty. Um, I want to talk real quick about something that's been on my mind. I do a lot of coaching, and one of the things I work with my clients with is, do you have the proper skill set to charge accordingly? A lot of people are undercharging because of lack of confidence, because they don't have the proper training. A lot of people are just parts changers. And that can be in any industry. A lot of times you haven't put enough reps in to build your confidence, or you haven't seen jobs through to the end. A lot of people run into a wall and they walk away. So let's talk about it. In order to get to a point that you can charge a premium, you have to be able to look in the mirror and know that not only do you do quality work, you need to know that, number one, that you stand behind your work. Number two, you need to be clear about your diagnostic process. Are you diagnosing properly? All these affect your bottom line. And then you got to be man or woman enough to critique yourself, critique your work, and even critique your clientele. Some of y'all you can't do work for people who don't have the level of tolerance. When I first let me just talk a little bit about me. When I first got in the game, um, my avatar was a client with discretionary income that lived in a certain zip code that had, a value of a certain house, and they were transactional. They just major concern was communication, getting the job done as quickly as possible. And as long as you communicate, they were okay with any delays or things that you had to go back and double check and things of that nature, as long as you kept them in the loop. Most people will work with you as long as you are transparent. But see, a lot of people are walking and moving in fear because, first of all, they don't know what they're doing and they don't want to admit it. See, the problem with the industry I'm in, appliance repair, is that for many years it was a low barrier to entry. So people would get in, chuck in the truck, handyman, and I'm not knocking them because all the handymen I know are professionals. But I'm just saying, they out there. And this guy, people out there, they think it's something. They get on YouTube, they think they know what they're doing, and they really don't understand the theory. They can't read schematics. They really don't understand how the appliances work. So, working on an appliance is very different than working on a car or something else. They're similar, but they're different. Meaning, when you're dealing with a dishwasher, let's just use a dishwasher for example. All dishwashers I'm aware of, before they start, they have a drain period where they drain for a certain period of time. At one point, Frigidaire actually extended their drain time on a lot of the newer boards. So if you don't know how they work and you push a button and you keep hearing the drain pump and you don't understand that's part of the process, that it drains for an extended amount of time to prevent overflow and flooding. A lot of people don't understand how the flood sensors work. They don't understand that if there's any moisture, Samsung is notorious for this, and GE, in that bottom pan, any spills or if there's a leak, a hidden leak, and they're known for that the unit will not function. It will continue to drain because it thinks it's water in that system. These are things you have to know. If you come in blind and you don't know, I'm not knocking anybody. I mean, I can only talk from experience. I definitely didn't know everything. I studied a lot. I purchased a lot of equipment so I would have every tool I need, even before I knew how to use the tools. Because I'm anal like that. That's how I move. But it's because I understand in order to come to the market and separate myself, I have to provide exemplary service. I got to be able to communicate. My CRM is going to have to be on point. My communication with customers. When I started in 2019, I was running my company with AI before AI was a thing. And it was only because everything I did was about systems. Doesn't mean I was smarter than anybody else. It just means that because of my business acumen, and I put a stress on that because I knew the way I handle business would separate me from the people who had more technical experience. And I was able to make six figures out the gate. I was able to do 20 and 30,000 a month out the gate. But that was number one, the business acumen. Number two, the fact I wasn't scared of money. See, a lot of people are scared of money. They scared to hit numbers because the numbers scare them. They are overwhelmed. I had a situation. I ain't gonna say no names. We all know who we are. I was in a situation and someone shut down a system that I had in place without letting me know. And I lost a lot of money. And I learned from that, number one, be very careful who you do business with. Doesn't mean that anybody's bad, but everybody has risk tolerances that are different than yours. You can sit down and have a conversation and people can agree with it, but then they can do some undermining on the back end and it has nothing to do with you. It just has to do with their stuff. So at this particular point, I've learned to look in the mirror first before I point the finger at anybody. Did I do due diligence? Did I really lay out a plan? Or did I just assume, that everybody was going to jump on the boat? So what I'm saying to you is if you're going to get in this industry, get your training together. And I'm not saying you can't make money and train at the same time, because that's exactly what I did. I had a full-time job, and I was working for a corporation, you feel me? And I was running shops, technicians and stuff in my work life, in my W-2 life. And then after work or on break, lunch break, I'm out here fixing appliances. Then when the job's over, I'm going to night school down in Miami, even though I went and took a weekend course, because I understood the importance of solidifying my technical skills. And the only way I could do that was to pay the costs up front. See, the problem is a lot of people, y'all don't want to pay the costs up front, y'all. You got to pay the cost. Just because you can throw a lid switch in or thaw out a refrigerator or whatever y'all be doing, because I would tell you how many times I go in and people have been told, oh, just let it defrost for 24 hours, it'll be all right. Never fixed the defrost issue at all. Didn't deal with the thermostats, didn't deal with the heater, didn't deal with, the system or the drain, nothing. Just lying to people and collecting a service call fee, which I think is I don't even understand. I see it all the time where people go in, charge people a fee and never fix anything, never give accurate information, tell them it's non-repairable. And for me, I'm just glad I'm not that person, because early on I took on challenges. I was working on stuff I had no business working on, but it was the only way I was going to get exposed. I wasn't in a position where I was going into a traditional job. I was actually operating a business and learning as I go. And I was able to polish it with my customer service, the way I handled invoices and communicated with customers. So I was light years ahead of so many people because I had those systems in place, because that was my corporate training. Like, I don't know how to work any other way. And anytime there's no order, then it's chaos. I can't stand it, from my home to my business. And I always look in the mirror, because I am the originator of the problem and I'm the person with the solution. And that's how you guys got to look at it. You are never going to be able to charge, because your skill set is not at a place where you can demand or expect to be able to charge that much. And why is that? It has to do with your choices. You're going to have to take an inventory of your skill set. You're going to have to start looking, like I always tell people, when I'm telling people and I'm coaching people and we go through their game plan and we triage what they're going to be working on the next day, because I'm trifling like that. Like, if I'm coaching you, you got your Sunday coach call, and then throughout the week I'm calling you. What does your day look like? What are you working on? Because a lot of the people that I actually coach are very independent. They really don't ask for help. So if they come to me, they really need help. And I'm that way, so I understand. And because I know they don't ask for help, I'm on their neck, because I need to get in there. Because where you think you're doing good, you're not. There's a better way. There's a way that I've already paid a price for. And because you're under my tutelage, I'm a lookout. One thing about all my students, they will tell you, when they do the things I show them, they win continuously. And a lot of the things may not be comfortable, but once they start getting their reps in, man, they don't need me anymore. And that's the goal. I want everyone to be self-sufficient, and I want you to do so much better than me, simply because I see the greatness in you. I just need you to put the tools in place and get your foundation together so you can not only see it, but realize it on your own. I'm not the kind of coach that wants you under my thumb where you got to pay me every 5 minutes. You know what I mean? I don't operate like that, because all my coaching relationships are reciprocal, meaning that I give to them and I gain from them. Like for instance, I have guys who I coach who have bought entire appliance repair companies, and they manage them remotely. They put a manager in place, they have technicians, and they don't even work in the industry. And that is a very interesting process. But this gentleman showed up with the cash and with a plan. And so I gave him game along the way. We would strategize, and then he would make the decisions that would be best for his family and his company. And I applaud them. I've helped several people do that. But that's a different mindset when you want to come in and manage that way, because you understand it takes time. You understand that, a lot of people think that running a service business is easy, and it's really not. You just have to decide how much headache you want and how you want to move. And that's what I'm always telling people. The only way you're going to win is to put boots on the ground. So when it comes to schematics, there's so many people who do not understand the importance of schematics until they get stuck on a job for 3-4 hours and the answer was right there on the schematics. They didn't understand. They thought it worked one way. And then when you look at the schematic, you'd be like, oh, damn, it's a thermostat between this and that. Oh, there's a thermistor that controls this. And if the thermistor's not working, I see it all the time on GE dishwashers. How many people couldn't get the heater to come on, the heating element on a dishwasher, on a GE dishwasher not to work? And come to find out it's in the floats, the thermistor with the float switch. And the center is gucked up with dishwasher detergent, debris, mold, whatever. I've seen people steam those and they work again. But most people don't even realize how that plays in the game. They don't even realize where it's located and how it functions. I see it all the time. How do I know this? Because I made the same mistake. So this is why even to this day, I pull schematics and I read service manuals, because I realize I don't know everything. And not only do I read that, I read technical service bulletins. Once again, we're going back to skill set. All you guys and girls out here going into these people's homes, not prepared, trying to call somebody like Miss Ward to walk you through it when your ass should have did it the night before, miss me with that. Because you're not going to get any better by using me as a crutch. And I have to do that with myself because I am Miss Ward. I have access to a lot of guys who are the best at what they do, and girls, and they will definitely pick up the phone when I call. But I have to discipline my damn self. I'll be like, really? Get it together, Miss Ward. So you got to really decide within yourself not only how good you want to be, but how long you want to last and how much you want to charge. So if you're putting the work in, you're getting the training, and then you're applying it, that's another issue I see. So many people get out here and go get the training, and then they scared. A lot of people scared to go into somebody's house. You scared to do this and that. Well, then go get you a job with an appliance repair company so you can work out the kinks. It ain't that hard. I'm telling you, they hiring every day. The key is go get a job with a good one. I mean, I would really advise a lot of you guys to go get these commercial job positions, because there are a lot of food service companies that are hiring left and right. Like I'm in Florida, there's so many guys and girls that are being hired by, I don't want to say no names because I know y'all be talking smack in the comments, but I'm going to say it. Like TWC is always hiring, what is that? Smart Care. They got the espresso meat machines. They got, look, Bun is hiring. I just talked to a guy at Bun. Bun is hiring their butt off. And I talked to the guy at Bun in person, the tech that was working there, because I had never seen one. I've always seen people who they sublet the work to. But this guy was actually from Bun. I was in shock. And, these people are hiring left and right. I mean, there's so many places that are hiring because the trades is a golden ticket. But the key is, what I always caution, if you do decide to work with someone, make sure that you're developing your skill set so that you can not only eat on the job, you can eat off the job. And that's because you never know when you need that extra 20, 30, 40, 50,000 a year you can make on the side. See, when you work for certain people, you got to set schedules. So whatever you do on your other time, long as it's not a conflict, you should be good. At the end of the day, We all got the same 24 hours. You got to decide what you're going to do in your 24. Like I just left my sister. Today was her birthday. And, they be looking at me like, we don't know how the hell you go from here to Tampa to that, all this other stuff. And I'm like, this is nothing to me. Like right now I'm doing this video. It's how I use my time. And I try to make sure that when I do videos, I have something to talk about that's going to help someone. And how do I know what to talk about? I get it from my coaching clients, for what I see in the field, and what I personally experience. And the thing that people love about me is that I'm authentic as hell. I don't really give a damn if you like me. Get the info and go. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. At the end of the day, I want you to win. And if a little bit of this will help you, God bless you. But remember, get out here and make this money. Structure your business properly. I'm going to say that again twice. Structure your businesses properly. I'm going to do a video about that because, I see people out here making all this money. They can't go buy a house because they ain't selling the business properly. They can't do nothing in the business name because they ain't got nothing in order. And all I'm telling you, I'm not giving you financial advice. I just want you to win every day. And let me tell you something. I'm so blessed to be in Florida. Y'all have no idea. I realize how lucky I am because I have access to multiple vendors. I have access to a state that is a country in itself. Florida, I swear, is its own country. It's kind of like Texas. Texas is big as heck. And so is Florida. So, I cover the whole state and 3 other states. And I'm only hitting the edge of those states. They just happen to border Florida because I'm smart like that. I happen to live on the Florida borderline of Florida and Alabama. So heck yeah, I'm going to jump across that line and get that bag. Why would I not? All my areas are military bases are there. I mean, everything I do, I have a plan. And let's not even talk about the tax liens that I've been able to grab and the land and the opportunities, but that's how I structured it. And the only reason I structured that way because I know all roads lead to real estate. But we ain't going to get off the subject. I'm just trying to explain to y'all, whenever you make moves, study and show yourself approved. Figure out where you're going to put the money. Figure out what you're going to do. Figure out how you're going to make sure that as hard as you work, your money work harder than you. I cannot, every video I'm going to say that because there's so many people that after a while you make so much money, you got to figure out where you want your money to go. And when I say that, is that in appliance repair and every other business, you should have some set expenses that you should be able to manage. And I'm going to talk to y'all about mine. From the beginning, I was charging accordingly. Like people thought I was charging too much. Now they looking crazy because I was right the whole while. My prices go up. And sometimes they go up every quarter simply because I'm very clear. I'm watching the market. Prime example. I got to do a job on a Frigidaire refrigerator. And Frigidaire made it, let everybody know. And let me tell y'all something about these vendors. GE, Whirlpool, and Frigidaire told everybody their prices were going to go up on a certain day. Y'all thought they was playing. This damn board is $490.10, my cost. If you think I'm not going to be a businesswoman and pass that cost on, you crazy. We don't move like that. So I'm going to make sure I'm going retail plus 20 or something, shipping or something. But believe me, I'm going to get me because I do not play the radio about my business. Because if you don't charge accordingly, it's a whole situation. But I watch people who ask me questions. I'll be like, look, bro, you got to charge. It's not a conversation. The only reason you ain't charging is because, number one, you're selling from your pocket, or you're not confident in what you do. Now, if you don't know what you're doing, don't charge some people. In fact, walk away and refer them to somebody that can help them and then come with them. That's what I used to do before I did seal systems. Man, please. And the problem with me subletting out seal systems, all my guys are so spoiled. They like, oh, we want you to handle all of that and we'll just, I'm like, no, because y'all don't have the same work ethic. So I'm one of those people that I'm going to ask you once or twice to handle something with a customer. And if I see you do blah, blah work, I'm going to give you the blah, blah business. You feel me? I just recently dealt with a job down south. And I have so many of my customers in South Florida that still call me. And I used to try to get the work out, but these people don't handle my customers the way I do. I mean, it just is what it is. And I'm not saying that my customers, that anybody's customer, but you'd be surprised how people, they will wait on your ass just because of the kind of service you give, you know? And I'm very proud of that reputation because I'm zero tolerance. One thing, and that's why guys didn't understand, I never get one of my subs said, Miss Ward, how do you stay in business? Because you give refunds off the rip. I said, bruh, it's because I understand that money is energy. You cannot hold money and think it's gonna grow. It's currency, it's a current, it's gotta flow. So if we didn't do stuff properly, or you was trifling and cost me money, I'm gonna continue to take care of the customer, and I'm gonna give you the side eye and ease you right up out of my team. There's no reason for us to even be in the same space. Like, you're not about to kill my reputation because you don't care about the quality of work you do. I don't operate like that. And a lot of people see that. Anybody who's worked with me, they'll be like, she doesn't give a dang about the money. I would be paying people double, triple what they would normally make, because I had already made a commitment to the client. I had set the bill in such a way I was going to clear either way it go. You know what I mean? I was always going to have profit because I structured it properly. But people were able to pay me and trust me because of how I presented it, how I provide, and how I was always to take care. They never had to wait on a call back from me or anything. If a customer reached out, I always had open lines of communication. But that was work, and it was work because I qualified my customers. I didn't wait on everybody. I didn't take care of everybody because some customers tell you they're going to be a problem from the door. Y'all dumbasses want to go deal with them problems. No. We gonna promote you to somebody else's customer. Because I don't have those problems. You got some people that want to throw a wide net and they take anything, guppies, buppies, or whatever that come up in the net. I don't operate that way because I understand that I'm elite the way I handle my business. I provide a premium service, and I want my customers to be at ease. And that comes from the way we act when we enter their home, the amount of respect that we give their home, things of that nature. And it always goes over well because these people out here don't have no damn manners. So just having manners and communicating with customers and being very upfront and honest about the situation, you night and day, you winning. And that's what I'm saying. Take the time to work on your skill set, y'all. Take the time to do what you got to do to not only get it together, but be the best. It's not that hard. So take an inventory of your skill set. Do I know how to do seal systems? Do I really understand how refrigeration works? Do I understand airflow? Do I understand what happens? What if I go to a refrigerator and I check the temp on the condenser and it's cold? What does that mean? Do I know how to put these appliances in service mode so I can check the different loads, whether it be a fan, whether it be the compressor, whether it be a drain pump, whether it be the motor? Can I do these washers and put them in spin cycles and listen for bearing noises on the front lobes, or listen for issues with the shocks? It ain't that hard, but when you understand how to put things in service mode, you can go from one step to the other to be able to diagnose. If you don't know how to read schematics, how do you know where to put your meter and how to read the voltage? How do you know when you're reading what side of the board is AC, the other side is DC? Do you know? There's nothing wrong with not knowing, but do you want to know? Because what's going to happen is when your ass find out and figure it out, you're going to be mad with you because you took so long. So do not give up on yourself, and do not give up on the process. You got to realize you got to deal with customers that make you want to be of service. See, I don't deal with assholes because I'm the biggest one. Don't try me. I'm good till you come for me. When you come for me and it's going to go left, and I'm going to be done, because I'm going to have no problem dusting your ass because I didn't do that. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. If I'm wrong, I always eat that. But I've learned how to not put myself in environments where that other Miss Ward shows up. You feel me? I make sure I'm on time. I make sure I communicate. I make sure I confirm appointments. I make sure all my plans, if I'm traveling, I make sure my hotels are booked. I make sure my cars are good. Everything's in order. My parts. Like today I had an issue because I assumed, this is what goes back to systems. I assumed a part was in the back of my vehicle, and I look at the part and it's the wrong part. Similar box, but I assume that's on me. So I'm always learning lessons. So I had to run my butt from Dade City on down to Tampa, Marcone, to grab the part, but I got it done. And I stayed on my quota. I have a certain amount of dollars I want to do every day. I stay on those systems, and whatever I got to do, that's what I do. I don't play the radio, and that's what I'm telling you. I can't charge a premium if I don't show up educated, informed, and have the latest material and access to the best possible parts with the proper warranties. I have to be professional. I got to show up with shoe covers. I got to show up with blankets and towels and things to protect the customer's home. It's that simple. And then I got to be able to, and everybody can't understand Southern Ebonics. So then I got to code switch and have the proper conversation and match the diction of the client that I'm speaking to. That's another thing. See, let me tell y'all something. I don't understand why you gonna go into someone's space and try to force who you are in their space or whatever. I feel if you are authentic in yourself, people accept you. At the same time, you don't disregard their customs. Like prime example, I have customers of Asian descent. And I go into their homes and of Indian descent, and I always remove my shoes, even if I have covers, simply because I understand. You open the dang door and all the shoes is right there, they outside. That lets you know they don't want you on their floor. Not to mention whatever belief systems are in place here. You have to respect people's customs and homes, and a lot of people don't because they so, oh my God, what's the word? You so enthralled with your damn self. You are not the prize in this case. The customer with the wallet to pay your ass is the prize. And the only way you're going to get paid is to be able to come in and be humble and of service. Does that mean you let them abuse you? No, because you should have scoped that before you got there. That's another thing. Y'all don't vet your customers properly. If they treating you like whatever over the phone, don't give them no second chance. They done showed you who they are. They having a rough day. Let them go do that rough day on somebody else. Because I'm not taking that on, and I have enough clients and I have enough resources where I don't have to. A lot of y'all don't put yourself in the position where you got to scrape the bottom of the barrel for a customer. That's crazy. So like I said, do you have the proper skill set to charge accordingly? It's only one person who can fix that. That's you. Start reviewing all your tickets, reviewing your challenges, and don't try to do it all at once. Start with the small stuff and work your way up. But you know where your problems are. Fix them today. Ms. Ward is signing off. I want you to have a phenomenal day. Stay blessed, and remember, let's go get it. Solid steppers keep stepping, and Tech the Titan 2.0, we stay at the top. Let's get it.